Hi, my name is Leandro Facchinetti and let's write some code together, shall we? What we have on the menu today is to continue working on this app that we are developing together here on the stream. It's called Notestrator. It allows you to draw on top of your computer screen, which is useful for things like streaming, but also for education and for presentations, that sort of thing. So if you are showing something on your screen and you're sharing that and you want to be able to draw and take notes. So we have plenty of things to do here on the backlog, and we have been working through this backlog, and for every feature that, or every bullet point, some of the bullet points are bugs, but for every bullet point that we knock down, there are 5 more that we have to work on. But I thought we would work on something different today, just for fun. So instead of going through the backlog, there is something that is absolutely important, and that it's not here on this document. That is to distribute the app. So far we have been in development mode, so you have to npm install and then run from the command line, and of course that is great for development. I really appreciate how you can spin up Electron super easily. It really feels like you are developing a web app, which is the kind of thing that people usually do in Node.js. Or even a command line tool for that matter. It also feels like developing a command line tool. You just install the dependency and you call a certain command and you're good to go, which is excellent for development. But that's not how you distribute the app. And I want people to be able to install this easily with a .app on a Mac and with a .exe on Windows and a binary for Linux as well. Maybe something using an app image. We'll see. In any case, I started to look into this 5 minutes before I started streaming. And it seems like there is something in the documentation for Electron teaching you how to distribute the app. And it seems like there are 3 contenders that we need to look at. And these are the new docs. You can tell that the docs are not really 100% fleshed out. I was looking at some page that did not have good formatting. I think it was here over at the quick start. Yeah, you can tell that it's not complete. It's still a work in progress, but it looks great. I really like what they're doing with their docs. In any case, let's go over application distribution and figure out the story there, and we'll also see how good this Electron documentation is, especially this new version of the Electron documentation. Let's get into it. So to distribute your app with Electron, you need to package and rebrand it. So I guess I can explain what I already know about this. So when you are developing for Electron, you just npm install Electron, and when you do that, you end up with this big .app on a Mac, but it's like this big .app thing, which is a Mac app that has Node.js in there. So it comes with its own version of Node. Currently I'm running Node 16, but in the app it comes with its own node. So I think it's Node 14 something. It may not even be the latest on the 14 branch. In any case, it comes with its own Node.js and fires up your application. So it has this special execution engine that has access to a browser window and whatnot, and it loads your JavaScript from there. So there is this .app that you need to embed your application into, and that's what they call branding. So I guess packaging and branding. So the act of packaging is taking this .app that already exists. You can actually go to the GitHub page for Electron, and in the releases you will find this base apps that you need to base your app on. So for instance, here is the Mac version. So you can download this, and it will be a .app, and then you have to package your application into this .app bundle, and then you need to rebrand by changing the icon, changing the app name, and so forth. So you could just follow the manual distribution process, download these pre-built binaries, or even compiled from source if you're so inclined, and then package your application into there, and then rebrand, which is to change the icons and whatnot. So you can do all of this manually. But then there are these tools that help you do that. Of course, we're going to try to first investigate how these tools work, because if they work for us, then that's probably the least amount of work we have to do. But if that doesn't work, then we can always resort to manual distribution. And in any case, I think it's important for us to understand what these tools are doing for us. And when you go to in development mode, when we start the app, we are just using this Electron executable that comes with the Electron package. So that's interesting, right? We are using Electron as a development dependency. And in fact, I prefer to have my development dependencies after my dependencies. I don't know what that is doing there. But Electron is a development dependency because it comes with this Electron executable that will fire up an app in development mode. But in production, which is like the thing that you are actually going to distribute to people, you don't have the Electron package installed because you will use this base.app that already has all the Electron stuff in there. All right, so let's figure out these three tools. I would love for them to say what the differences are, because I was looking into them and it seems like these three tools are all under the Electron umbrella. One of them is actually from the Electron organization, and two of them are in this Electron user land. And I wish there was a concise explanation of what the difference is between these tools. That would help me decide which one I want to use. I guess, and also I kind of remember from having read about this in the past, that one of these tools is like the basic bare bones functionality, and then the other tools are like bundling around and giving you more features and trying to automate the most common path. We'll learn about the three of them and we'll figure it out. And then there is this in the quick start guide, which was the tool that we just looked at. You can tell that this documentation is not 100% done. But in any case, there is this quick start guide that teaches you how to use electron-forge, which seems to be the preferred version, the preferred tool, since it is listed first. We'll see. And then there is the manual distribution, but I'm going to leave this for last, okay? So I'm going to organize my tabs so that my last tab here is the thing that I really wish I won't have to do. Okay, so quick start, package and distribute your application. The fastest way to distribute your newly created app is using Electron-forge. Add Electron-forge as a development dependency of your app and use its import command to set up Forge's scaffolding. Well, I am always skeptical of scaffolding. They go stale and the underlying projects update, and the scaffold, well, you have already used it, so in your machine you end up with stale stuff. I never like to do this, but I guess I'll give it a try. Let's see. Yeah, I'll just give it a try, and if it doesn't work well, I will revert. So let's install this Electron-forge stuff. And then, yeah, it will completely take over the project. But that's okay. Let's give it a try. I'll give it a fair try. And while this thing is even installing, there's something else I want to do. I always like to see how popular the alternatives are. In some cases, if I'm correct, that one of these is like the bare bones functionality and then the other two are wrapping around the bare bones functionality, then for sure the most popular will be the bare bones because it is installed every time you install the other one. And there is no, I don't think that npm trans or any other tool has a way of knowing whether a dependency is transitive or not, whether you have actually run npm install that thing or you installed it because of another dependency. But in any case, let's see what is the popularity of all these three alternatives. All right, so it seems like electron-forge, the one that we are trying, is actually the least popular, which is interesting because it's probably the best recommendation they have. They put it on their quick start guide. Oh, and maybe it's because you have to install it like this. Ah, okay. That changes something. Well, it's still the least popular, but it's slightly more popular than the other ones. In any case, it's not wildly popular, and in terms of stars, it also seems to be the least popular. So, of course, popularity is no indication of quality. Well, it's one point of data. It's not the only point of data that I consider, but it's an important one. So, okay, let's see. Their GitHub is the same. So the number of, it's kind of weird. The number of stars on this one is 4,433. But you can see the link points at electron-forge, and this one points at the same place. Points at electron-forge, but the number of stars is different. So that is kind of weird that npm trends is doing that. And let's see which one is correct. Oh, I cannot seem to get a precise number of stars. Oh, yeah, I can. 4,470. So neither of these two are on the mark. Maybe npm trends is caching something. I don't know. In any case, we are looking at popularity here. So it seems like Electron Builder, second on the list of recommendations, is the most popular. We'll also give that one a try. We'll see. We'll see how much we like what electron-forge is doing for us. Let's import. And this is going to take over the project and explode everything. Let's see what it's doing. So, some issues need review and may require choosing a different dependency. Oh, no. That is the result of installing electron-forge. This is the result of running electron-forge. So it's checking your system, initializing Git repository, we already have one, writing a modified version of a package JSON, so probably that's what this is, installing dependencies, I suppose it's also in there in the package JSON stuff, so yeah, the dependencies are here, and then please set the version of your application in package JSON. Let's go ahead and do that. We start with a humble beginning. Writing a modified package JSON, it is modified. And fixing git ignore. What did it do on git ignore? Oh, it put a folder. So probably it's going to compile stuff and put it on the out folder. So I'll just apply my style, but I'll keep it there. We have attempted to convert your app to be in a format that electron-forge understands. Thanks for using electron-forge. You are welcome. I'm not using it yet. I'm not sure. We'll see. Okay, let's see what we have in terms of changes. So the git ignore we already looked at. Let's look at the package JSON. So the version I just added, it changed my scripts. So now to start and to package and to make, I am always using electron-forge. Okay. Then there is the Squirrel startup, which is for auto updates, which is something that I want. And then there are the development dependencies, which are the electron-forge CLI, and then makers for Linux stuff, for Squirrel, which is for auto updates, and a zip. Okay. And then there is some configuration here for Forge. And then there is the packager configuration and the makers, which are these versions. Oh, so it seems like the zip is for Mac OS. And is Squirrel for Windows? Which one of these is producing the binary for Windows? I don't know. In any case, let's continue. Create a distributable using Forge's make command. So that's kind of interesting. They have both A package and a make. What would be the difference between them? I don't know. It seems like they want me to run make and not package. So yeah, let's run make. And then let's see what comes out. Okay, it failed. Checking your system. Resolving forge config. We need to package your application before we can make it. Okay, so they are using the terms from here. Package comes first and make comes second. So make depends on package. Preparing the package application for architecture. That's the architecture of my computer. So I don't expect to be able to cross-compile, which could be kind of an issue because I was expecting to be able to produce my binaries in GitHub Actions, but then I will not be able to use GitHub Actions for macOS ARM for the new M1 processors. They are just not available. Just noticed that my gain on the microphone wasn't great. It was too quiet. Is this better? I think it should be. In any case, M1 processors are unavailable in GitHub Actions, so I have to do something else there. We'll see. An unhandled rejection has occurred inside Forge, unable to find all properties in parent package.json files. Parent package.json files. Do they have that structure of multiple package.jsons? Sometimes people do that. Missing properties, product name and name. Maybe it should have warned me when it was trying to convert the package, the same way it warned me about version, but okay, I'll take it. So name, Notestrator. And I wonder if it should be more like an npm package name where it would be lowercase, or if it should be more like an app name where the name is capitalized. Maybe the product name is about this. So maybe the name will be Notestrator lowercase and product name will be uppercase. I don't know. We'll see. In any case, I think I should be able to just rerun this command. Now it should work, or it should at least pass that point and fail with something else. Okay, it's taking its time, so it's probably gonna work this time. Oh, alright, so it's saying that it is preparing native dependencies. I wonder what that is about. I think it goes like this. When I am running in development, I npm install stuff that has native dependencies maybe. Do I have anything with a native dependency in my project? I don't think so. As far as I know, all of these libraries are not native dependencies. But what happens is if you have a native dependency, it has to be recompiled, not using nodes headers, but using the Electron node headers. So it has to be recompiled. So maybe that's what this is about. And then it's packaging the application. So I ran make, but it was running package first. And then it's making the following targets: zip. Making for target zip on platform Darwin for architecture x64. And then I have something on my out folder. And I have some zip in there. And I have a .app. That's cool. Let's look at what we have on that zip. And then also let's try to run the app. So I'll drag the zip to somewhere where just play around with it. In fact, I'm going to undo this. I'm going to copy the zip there. So I can just play around with the zip. Let's see what's in there. It's just the .app. Excellent. And then I have some more stuff in here. Let's see what that's about. Okay, so this is the license, the license for Electron itself, which is not something I care about. I don't think I would distribute this, but then it's also in HTML form, and I'm curious to know what that looks like. Oh, okay. So these are licenses for all the stuff that makes Electron, probably. It's always fun to scroll over these and see what they are using to build Electron. They have a lot of things that I would expect and some things that I have never heard about. In any case, let's continue looking at the .app. So the .app has my name, Notestrator, but it doesn't have my logo because I don't have a logo. I believe that these two will be the same. So I believe what they did was they ran package, probably, and package produced this, and then make produced that. So at least for macOS, I think I can just distribute the .app, but it wouldn't hurt to zip. Yeah, I think I would distribute the zip. In any case, I believe that these two files are exactly the same. How about we check this assumption? And also let's check the size. 200 megabytes is huge for the app that this is, but that's Electron for you all. Okay, so let's diff this out, make, oh, not the zip. I want to diff the Notestrator. I'm just doing this for curiosity. I want to understand how this even works. Let's diff that against what I have here. Common subdirectories. Yeah, is there something like a recursive diff? Yes. So this is probably going to take a while because it's diffing 200 megabytes. Oh, it was fast. So yes, this is exactly the same. So that's what happened. They first produced a package, which is this, and then they ran make and got this out. Now for the moment of truth, I will try to run this .app and let's see if the app starts. And it started, and it's working. I am happy. I wasn't expecting this. I was expecting this to be a lot harder. But it wasn't so hard. It even noticed where my index file was. It just worked. Oh my god. Are the keyboard shortcuts working? Yes, they are. Oh my god. I think we did it in less than an hour. That's amazing. Now I don't know what to do with the rest of the stream. Well, there's still a lot to do. So let's quit the app. So it worked. That's excellent news. Let's see if the... Oh, it got... Was it called main.js before? Yes, it was, because... Oh, there is a new commit here. What is this about? I think it's the commit that I made in the beginning of the stream, isn't it? Yeah, it's just moving the development dependencies below. When they changed my package Json, they maintained the order. That's all right. Okay, so electron-forge is good. I like it. So what was I looking at? Oh yeah, so the file has always been called main.js. Let me double check this. Yeah, it has always been called main.js. I think it's a leftover from when we started, when we had multiple JavaScript files. But, okay, so that's how electron-forge managed to find my file to start up the app. And I really want to call this index.js, but I'll not touch this right now. I'll just make a note to rename this. Just because by convention people usually use index.js. And then there is this electron-forge start, which is probably just gonna run electron start, or just going to run the electron, but let's see what npm start does. Does it work? Checking our system, locating application, preparing native dependencies, and launching application. It's a lot slower, but maybe just for the first time. Let's run this again. It is slower to launch. But you know what? I'll take it. Because it may be doing yeah, it may be doing more stuff than I even need, but whatever, I'll just take it. And do I need Electron and electron-forge CLI? I think I do. But maybe electron-forge already depends on Electron? Doesn't hurt to look at what they have there. So let's see. Electron-forge. Oh, I guess the quickest way to see this is to go to my folder, node modules, look for electron-forge CLI, and look at their package JSON and see if they depend on an electron. Nope. So I still have to have electron in my dependencies. Yep, I think that is all. Let's see what they have. Oh yeah, they just say electron-forge generates the out folder where your package will be located. So there it is. Really is there. Alright, it worked. Quick start. Got that out of the way. Electron-forge has a website. It's a complete tool for creating, publishing, and installing modern Electron applications. Yeah, let's understand the difference between package and make. Let's really see if the thing that I was talking about before is the fact. So when I say package, I think it will produce the .app but not the zip. Yeah, that's what happened. It produced the .app and not the zip. And if I run npm run make, will it run package again? Yes, it runs package again. That's actually what I want. Then I don't have to remember to delete the package before I run make. All right, we got it. Yeah, let's go over the documentation for Electron-forge real quick. Also glance at these other options, try to make sense of this ecosystem. And to configure this properly, because I don't know what name and product name should be, and I don't know what these guys are all about. But how about we make a branch and we start committing this on that branch? I'll use Visual Studio Code for this. I'll create a new branch. I'll call it Forge. And I'm going to commit the changes I made. And alright, I guess I'll put this on the readme. No, I'm hesitating here because I don't want to forget that I want to do this. I want to do this renaming. Yeah, I'll deal with this later. Yeah, let's look at the readme for this. I think that I am already on the 6, yes, I am on the 6 beta. That was the latest on NPM. Okay. Maybe I did not run into the native module rebuilding issue because none of my dependencies are native modules. Ah, okay. So, oh no, okay. I was gonna say that electron-forge used Electron Builder, but no, it uses Electron Rebuild, which automatically recompiles native Node.js modules against the current Electron version. So that's the thing I was talking about. When you npm install a package, it will install in Node.js mode, but we need to recompile everything into Electron because Electron has some modifications into the Node.js core, so it comes with its own headers for compiling native dependencies, which are the dependencies written in C and C++, in case you didn't know about this. Electron Packager. Okay, so electron-forge is using Electron Packager. Therefore, it makes sense for Electron Packager to be strictly more popular, because anytime you install electron-forge, you get Packager as well. And it is the case. So yeah, Packager is way more popular. And customizes and bundles your Electron app to get it ready for distribution. So that's one of the things we are considering. The third thing that we are considering is actually Electron Packager. For Electron-forge documentation usage, go to electron-forge.io. How do I use this with Webpack, blah, blah, blah? By default, Electron-forge only runs vanilla, non-compiled JavaScript, which is the case of our app. We are using vanilla JavaScript for now, at least. But and I think that will continue to be the case, actually, because we're not doing anything too sophisticated, and having a compilation step doesn't seem to be beneficial in this case. Sometimes I use TypeScript even with basic stuff, just because I want people, if I'm doing a library, I want people to be able to use the library in TypeScript. So instead of having to write the types by hand, it's just better to write everything in TypeScript from the get-go. So when I'm doing libraries, I tend to use TypeScript, even for trivial stuff. But for apps, it's a different story. I have to consider, does it make sense on an app to use TypeScript or not? In some cases it makes sense, but in this case I don't think it does, because it's such a small app and most of the things that we are doing are on the client side. And then I would have to have something like Webpack just to be able to compile or even just call TypeScript on my client side JavaScript, but then I would need to have access to the Electron stuff on the client side, which I do. I use the IPC renderer stuff on the browser, so I would have to configure TypeScript to be aware of that. I really don't think that it would give me much of an advantage in this app. So I'm keeping things simple and running vanilla JavaScript. But in any case, let's read the rest of this paragraph. But for TypeScript, Webpack, and other build tool support, check out the plugin sections. Okay, so they have support, they have a story there. We currently have plugins for Webpack and Electron Compile, and a template for Webpack. I have no idea what Electron Compile even is, but let's not worry about that. So electron-forge.io, here we are. And out of date is considered advanced. That's okay. Yeah, we'll look at this in a moment, but let's take a glance at the other contenders. We already know what Packager is all about. That's the low-level, bare-bones thing that creates .apps and .exes and essentially takes the base stuff from Electron, compiles your app along with that, and packages everything together. So that's what this is. Let's look at what Electron Builder is. They also have a website. A complete solution to package and build a ready for distribution Electron app with an out-of-date support out of the box. I do want out-of-date. So let's see what this is about. And same as Forge, it is on userland as well. Okay, let's read this. A complete solution to package and build a ready for distribution Electron proto-native app for macOS, Windows, and Linux with out-of-date support out of the box. See documentation at this place. NPM packages management. native application dependencies compilation, including yarn support. So that's the rebuild stuff that we keep encountering. Development dependencies are never included. You don't need to ignore them explicitly. Well, are they talking about these bullet points like auto update out of the box and development dependencies are never included? Are they bringing out these points because electron-forge doesn't do these things? Maybe that's their perspective when writing this doc. They probably should have said it. They probably should have written, compared to blah, 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 these are the differences. But let's continue. So yeah, I don't want my development dependencies to be included. So that's a point of consideration. Let's write down the things we care about. Auto update. Don't include development dependencies. To package JSON structure is supported, but you are not forced to use it, even if you have native production dependencies. I have no idea why they're bringing this up, but it seems like in their website, Electron Build, they will talk about the to package JSON structure. And I think I know what this is about. So in some cases, you want to have a package JSON for maybe the client side, which is like this stuff that runs on the browser window. Maybe in that case, we would install TypeScript there. And then you have also a package JSON for the Electron part of the app. Maybe that's what this is about. So code signing on a CI server or development machine. Oh yeah, so code signing is another thing that we want to look into, but not right now, but later we will want to look into that. And there is some documentation about code signing. I don't care about putting the apps in the app stores. I know that there is a whole approval process related to that. I don't want to go through that, and I definitely don't want to have to pay $100 a year for Apple to be able to do this. But maybe that's what's required to be able to sign. I don't really understand how these things work, but I know that there is this process of signing the app, and then there is the process of notarizing the app. And I know that if the app is not really notarized, it shows you some warnings, and you have to manually approve the app. We'll have to learn about this. And it seems like they have something about notarization. So yeah, we'll have to look into that. Okay. Auto update ready application packaging. Numerous target formats. So let's see the ones we care about. We want to have a macOS. I think that a zip is good enough. If I can get away with auto updating an .app straight, I think I prefer that. I don't really like DMGs and PKGs, and I don't care about going to the Mac App Store. So just a zip is good enough, and electron-forge has a zip. Then Linux, there is deb and RPM and app image and snap, and oh my god, so many options. And then Windows, there is the installer or a portable web without installation. I think I would go for that. Then there is Squirrel, which has auto update, so maybe that is what electron-forge had as well. Publishing artifacts to GitHub releases, that's what I want to do. I want to publish to GitHub releases. Advanced packaging, pack in a distributable format already packaged app. I have no idea what that is about. Separate build steps. Build and publish in parallel using hard links on CI server to reduce disk IO and disk. I don't care about this. Electron compile support. Compile for release time on the fly on build. What? I don't know. Docker images to build Electron app for Linux and or Windows on any platform. So that's interesting. It seems like you are able to run Windows in a Docker image. I don't know much about this, but is that the case? If it is, it's super cool. Back in the day, I was only able to run Linux on a Docker machine, on a Docker container. But it's saying that I could build the app for Windows using Docker. I'm down for that. Then Proton Native support. What the heck is Proton Native? Create desktop applications through a React syntax on all platforms. I can tell that the project isn't super polished because they got the capitalization of GitHub wrong. That's a small nitpick, but it's one of those indicators of quality. Yeah, this image is stretched, another indicator of bad quality, so it seems like it is just... Oh, okay, it's not even Electron based. It is trying to compile natively, and it's based on React, so it seems to be like React Native, but for the desktop. I'm not into that. Thank you very much. Downloads all required tools on demand automatically to code sign Windows applications to make AppX, no need to set up. Question: I want to configure Electron Builder. See options. I have a question. No. Found a bug. No. I want to support. Not right now. Yarn is strongly recommended instead of npm. That's a red flag. I don't like having to use a different package manager. Why? Solution: do not use npm. Use yarn and execute yarn clean. All junk directories like blah will be removed. Okay, but what is the problem to begin with? Build with code sign takes a long time when node-git is in my dependencies. Oh, and also this is a comment from 2017. And most people didn't really like this, but yeah, this is lacking context. Yeah, it doesn't seem too polished. So far, electron-forge is winning. I find it interesting that I'm doing this on the stream because most of the time I'm writing code, but this time I'm only reading documentation and going through my thought process for how I decide which tools to use, which is something that I usually do off stream, but it's so valuable to see someone else doing this. I wish I would find more people to learn from their process and watch them doing this. What do they take in account? What do they like and dislike? Okay, quick setup guide. And then there is this boilerplate. I don't like boilerplate. It gets stale, it's usually bloated. Should be called bloated plate. Specify the standard fields in the package JSON: name, description, version, and author. Should probably do that. Specify, okay, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and do that. But in which branch? Maybe I should have done this stuff, the metadata stuff, before I even started branching to experiment with the tools, but that ship has sailed. Let's return to master, to main. Let's return to main. Getting used to the new nomenclature. Okay, so I'm back in main and I'm going to go into the builder branch. And in this branch, I am going to install this guy. And I'm not gonna go with yarn. And I think it's a development dependency, right? Yes, it is. So while it's doing that, I'll go ahead and put some stuff into the package JSON. Well, actually I have to wait because it's going to change my development dependencies. but I need to add my name and whatnot. Seems to be taking a while, which means that it's downloading a bunch of stuff. Okay, it's done. So now I am going to come here and put in a name and a description. Take notes on top of your computer screen. Not take notes. Draw on top of your computer screen. And version. And author. And I'm going to be smart. Now that I put all this effort into making this, I'm going to keep this around for when I go to different branches. Oh, and they have some docs specific about the meaning of name. Okay. Specify the build configuration in the package JSON as follows. Your ID, well, I guess it is going to be something like Notestrator, like this. Or do you think that I should go on this style? Maybe I should go with that style because it's used in many contexts. For instance, when I go in macOS to this place, it uses this format where it's the domain but reversed. So I guess I'll go with that. Then Mac category, your app category type. I hope this is optional because I don't know which category to put there. But an app ID I think is relevant and important. So keep that. See all options. I will. Option files to indicate which files should be packed in the final application, including the entry point, may be required. If probably it will try to do something automatic, but if it fails, then you need to specify the files. Add icons. I will. Add the scripts key to the development package JSON. Well, they are already saying development package JSON, so it seems like there is a production package JSON as well. But yeah, all right. Oh, so they don't have anything in terms of start. And again, they have this pack and distribute. So again, I think it's creating a .app and then creating a zip based on that. I think it's the same story as in electron-forge. Then you can run yarn dist to package in a distributed format, or run pack only generates the package directory without really packaging it. This is useful for testing purposes. So I guess I will go with npm run dist. To ensure your native dependencies are always matched, Electron, this is not English. To ensure your native dependencies are always matched Electron version, matched with the Electron version probably, simply add script post install Electron Builder install apps, install all deps to your package JSON. Yeah, I'll probably do that. Not that I have native dependencies, but it's better to be covered on this aspect. If you well, but then this is only going to run when I say npm install, which is not the same as running when I run npm run dist. So there is that. If you have native add-ons of your own that are part of the application, not as a dependency, set node gyp rebuild, not the case. Please note that everything is packaged into an Azure archive by default. In case you don't know about this, an Electron app is a Node.js app. Node.js app has thousands of dependencies with millions of little JavaScript files. In some platforms, I think specifically on Windows, having many small files is slow. It is slow to load, it's slow to run. So, the Electron people developed this thing called Azure, which I guess stands for like app, I don't know, something archive? I don't know, but yeah, so this Azure It's like a tarball, except that it is based on JSON, and you can access random files in the Azar without having to unpack the whole thing, which is not the case of a tarball. In a tarball, you can only read data sequentially, or you have to unpack the whole thing to be able to look at files randomly, which I guess is another way of looking at things serially because you are already unpacking everything. So in any case, Electron people developed this Azar stuff to be able to have better performance on Windows. So I like having Azar, and I like that it's doing that for me. I wonder if my electron-forge stuff did that for me as well. Let me go to the trash and try to find the Notestrator app in there. That's the one we played with before. And let's show the package contents and go into contents and resources. And let's see if there is an Azar in there. Yeah, it's not using Azar by default. Which is slower, and I will probably have to configure. Probably electron-forge is capable of doing that. I just have to tell it to do that. But just so you know, so here is just literally the contents of my Notestrator repository, including the development dependencies, maybe. Let's see. No, it does not include the development dependencies. I can tell that because in my app, Electron is a development dependency, but here I don't see Electron, so there is no Electron here. So it's getting rid of the development dependencies. That's all right. So Forge gets this point. Just so you know, this Azar stuff, I can go to my apps folder and try to find an app that I know is Electron, like Visual Studio Code. They probably use Azar. Let's show the package contents and go to resources and then look for app. No, they don't use Azar. Oh, they use, yes, Azar. There is some Azar stuff in there, and then it's unpacked. Crazy. Yeah, all right. Now let's see what... Yeah, let's finish reading this page. For an app that will be shipped to production, you should see where to buy code signing certificates. Oh, fuck, I'll have to buy stuff. We'll see, we'll see. If I have to buy code signing keys or certificates, maybe I will. But then you all need to support me on PayPal, Patreon, and whatnot. Okay, yeah, let's close this. I will get to signing way later, so I'm going to start storing links about this stuff. Oh no, I don't want to save the file, not yet. Okay, so it produced a load of stuff. Okay, because the gist directory is not ignored. Now it is. So let's see the output of running Electron Builder, and let's see the files that were produced. So far I'm liking Electron Builder in the sense that it's not taking over my project the same way that Electron-forge did. I had to like import the app into Electron-forge, and I had to take over this start stuff, which had the benefit of taking care of my native modules if I had them, but made things slightly slower. And this is not taking over the whole process, it's just taking over the build and distribution process. Okay, so let's see. And it did not add a bunch of development dependencies, there is just one, Electron Builder. So I like that. Let's see how it did. So Electron Builder, version whatever, loaded configuration from my package JSON using the build field, so probably this. writing effective configuration to this. What is this effective configuration? Okay. I don't like how files is empty. It should have detected stuff. Then it's packaging for Darwin on Intel with Electron 13. Is that the latest? Yes, well, not quite. Yeah, it's running a few versions behind. And what about Forge? It didn't really tell me the version of Electron. Okay, so we downloaded that from GitHub. Yeah, so the thing that we were looking at right now on GitHub, that's what it downloaded. Then a default Electron icon is used, reason application icon is not set. So that's another thing we have to do. We have to do the icon. The icon is even more important than auto update. Not including development dependencies is super huge deal. So that comes before auto update as well. Okay. Skipped macOS application code signing because cannot find developer ID application identity or custom non-Apple code signing certificate. See blah. Yeah, we'll get there. One identity found, validated identities only, 0 valid identity found. Okay, so it finds identities. I don't know where it found one, but then it said that it wasn't valid, which I guess is fair. I don't have any kind of identity to sign apps. Then it's building with the target macOS. It's going to produce a zip for my architecture, and that's where it's going to put that. And there it is. Then it's building a DMG, which is there. And then it's building a block map. What the heck is that? And then it's building an embedded block map, which is that. Hang on, aren't these the same? They are the same path. I don't know. That's weird. Now let's open this dist directory and let's see what is there. So there is this builder debug and effective configuration in the latest Mac. What is that all about? These are like manifest files with the SHA of the zip, probably used for uploading to GitHub releases and have people verify that they downloaded stuff correctly. What is this block map stuff? Okay, so just some metadata. And there is this Mac folder with my app in there. Okay, a simple .app thing. And it is smaller. I think the other one was 210 megabytes. This is only 207. Yep. So probably because of using Azar. Yeah, so let's see this two in comparison. They are of course not exactly the same. We already established because of the size of the folders. So this is using Azar. This is not. So this, what is the size of this folder? I don't even know the size of this folder, but the size of my Azar is 26 megabytes, which I think is reasonable in terms of all the dependencies I have in there and everything. Okay. Now let's investigate what is in this zip and what is in this DMG. And I guess I will. And what is this block map? It's a small file. It's a manifest kind of thing, isn't it? Is this plain text? It's not. I don't know what that is about. But in any case, so I'll create a folder here under my downloads folder called Forge. I'll put the Forge generated app in there, and I'll have a builder. And let's drag these 3 files in there. So let's check what is in this zip situation, and I will unpack it in a folder because I expect to see the .app in there. Yeah, and then I expect these two to be the same. I will not diff them. I will just trust that they are the same. And then in the DMG, I guess I will have the same .app in there with a click and drag situation, which is kind of nice, I guess. I could give that as an option. What do people do in Electron apps? Let me go to GitHub, and there is this app called Cap. It's built with Electron. So what do they do when they're releasing? Do they give you an .app or do they give you a DMG? So they give you both a zip containing a .app, probably, as well as a DMG, and they also give you the block map. Why? What is this DMG block map? What is that? And also, are they using Builder or Forge? Wait a second. Do they have Electron as a developer? Oh, okay. I thought I saw Electron as a production dependency. Dev dependencies. Then they have Electron Builder. So they're going with Builder. And they also have Electron as a development dependency. So they have Electron Builder in there. Okay. What is the purpose of the block map file? Under Electron Builder, so it seems to be something Electron Builder specific. Oh, it says it is an XML document? That's not what it seems. Yeah, this is not XML. Or at least it's not plain text XML. Oh, that's crazy. It seems like when you're updating, you can get just part of the app that changed. Oh, it's gzipped. Ooh, that is crazy stuff. I love this. This is really cool. I want to take note of this. Auto update. So the block map stuff from Electron Builder is great, or looks great. So yeah, another thing to note is Builder is more popular than Forge, and I suppose Builder is the most popular, and then Packager, and then Forge. Ooh, so it means that Electron Builder is not using Electron Packager. Yeah, I always like to investigate these kinds of things. So node modules, I really want to understand what the tools that I use do. I want to understand how they work. So Electron Builder, in terms of dependencies, they don't seem to be using Electron Packager. They are doing their own thing. But electron-forge is probably going to depend on Electron Packager. There you go. So that is the story. Electron Packager. Low-level tool for packaging your app into .app, .exe, etc. Then electron-forge uses Electron Packager and gives you a more high level tools. And Electron Builder doesn't use Electron Packager and is way more popular. So now I'm writing the summary that I wish I would find in somewhere in some docs, and maybe there is, probably there is, but I didn't find it yet. Okay, so I guess now is the moment of truth for Electron Builder. Did it build an app that works? Oh, and another point of reference here. So yes, the app works. When built by Forge, when built by Builder, doesn't matter, the app works. Excellent. Used by Cap. That's another point of reference for me. What do we want to do next? Well, I can dive deeper into... Oh, the code signing. I already took note of this, didn't I? Yes. So I can dive deeper into the Electron Forge and into the Electron Builder documentation. I'll also just store this tab for later. So as a last resort, do it manually. I probably won't have to do that, but it doesn't hurt to actually read this documentation. And then there is this comparison, and I think we extracted everything we needed from this page in terms of Electron Builder being the most popular, and then Packager, and then Forge, and that's of course because Packager is a dependency of Forge. So we are mapping the space, we are learning about all these things. And then, yeah, let's take a quick read here on the Electron Packager stuff. Because it's lower level, we want to learn how it works, but we probably will not use it directly. Customize and package your Electron app with OS-specific bundles via JavaScript or the CLI, and they don't have a specific website. So let's just read what they have here. It's a command line tool and Node.js library that bundles an Electron-based application source code with a renamed Electron executables, so it does rebranding or branding, and supporting files into folders ready for distribution. For creating distributable like installers and Linux packages, consider using either Forge, which uses Electron Packager internally, or one of the related Electron tools, which uses Electron Packager created folders as a basis. By the way, since it's talking about creating folders as a basis, I'm kind of interested in knowing what happens if... So there are two of these commands, pack and gist, and I ran gist, didn't I? Yes. What happens if I just run pack? So many things are the same. Oh, so it built the .app, so I guess the same story as before. In Electron Forge we had a pack and then make, and in Electron Builder we have a pack and then gist. And then when you pack, you only see the .app, which is useful for, I guess, debugging stuff. But I won't need that, I don't think. So just cleaning things up. Okay. Note that packaged Electron applications can be relatively large. A zipped minimal Electron application is approximately the same size as the zipped pre-built binary for a given target platform, target architecture, and Electron version. Yeah, so this thing that we looked at a couple times already on the Electron releases. Supported platform. You can use this on Windows 3264, Mac OS. I wish it is specified whether they support ARM, but I hope that they do. Do they have anything going on here in terms of that? Yes, they have some stuff for ARM. But we used 13.1. 13.1.1, that's the one we used. So maybe back in that version ARM wasn't supported? Guys, I'll go just to one of these and try to find the 13.1.1. Here it is. And back then they had already Darwin ARM. Okay. And then it generates executable bundles for the following target platforms. Does that mean that they have like cross compilation? I don't want any of that, but it would be interesting if they have. So they have Windows 3264 and ARM. They have Mac 464 and ARM, and they have Linux for 3264, ARM 7, ARM 8, and MIPS. MIPS? Oh my god. Note for macOS bundles, the .app bundle can only be signed when building on a host macOS platform. We have access to one of those in GitHub Actions, it will be fine. Installation, this module, blah, blah, blah. It is not recommended to install Electron Packager globally. Building Windows apps from non-Windows platforms. So they have some sort of cross-compilation, but that is not going to go well if you want to build native modules. You would have to have a whole C and C++ cross-compilation system going for that. Let's see what they have to say. Building an Electron app for the Windows target platforms requires editing the electron.exe file. Currently, Node Packager uses Node RC edit to accomplish this. A Windows executable is bundled in that Node package and needs to be run in order for this functionality to work. So on non-Windows platforms, not including Windows Subsystem for Linux, you need to use Wine. Okay, I really hope I don't have to do that. You can use this from JavaScript or you can use it from the command line. And they have... Oh, so this link is to Electron GitHub IO. That seems very old. Oh no, it's not. It's okay. Alright. Then you have to say the source. Yeah, this is definitely lower level. npx can be substituted for yar. This will find and download the correct release of Electron. Use that version of Electron to create an app. So this is more low level and bare bones. It will not give me functionalities like auto updates. So I guess that's another reason why I won't use this manually, this directly. Oh, it tries to cross-compile? Yeah, so it will just detect the platform. That's alright. Oh, okay, so if app name is omitted, it will use the name specified by product name or name in the nearest package JSON. So we looked at these guys in the when we were using Forge. Characters in the Electron app name which are not allowed in all tagged platforms, like a slash, will be replaced with hyphens. You should be able to launch the app on the platform you built for. If not, check your settings and try again. Yeah, it should. In other words, it should work. Be careful not to include known modules you don't want in your final app. If you put them in dev dependencies, by default, none of the modules related to those dependencies will be copied in the app bundles. This behavior can be turned off with the prune false API option or no prune flag. Oh, that's interesting. I have something to package not Electron apps but Node.js app. It's called Cache. I have plenty of videos about this on my channel. And I ended up building I think it is actually called prune or maybe dedup, but in any case I have something very similar to this. In addition, folders like .git and blah 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 will be ignored. You can use ignore to ignore files. Yeah, again, same story as in Cache. And in my case, I even have a glob. So that's alright. It's good to have this validation that what I did in Cache makes sense. When I was building Cache and designing it initially, I looked at all these packaging tools for Electron to get inspired. So it's not like I came up with this thing independently 100%. Example, let's assume you have made an app based on the Electron Quick Start, and it has this follow. In fact, that's how we started our app. Back 20 streams ago. And the following is true. Electron Packager is installed, product name is set to that, and Electron module is in the dev dependencies section set to the exact version of blah. What is my version? It's not the same. That's weird. They are mentioning a version that is super old. Oh, okay. Which is also, by the way, oh, okay. So I was complaining that it wasn't getting the latest, but that's because on my Electron, on my dev dependencies, that's the version that I have, because that's when I started working on the app. So probably Electron Builder is just fetching whatever is here. That's smart move. I like that. So I'm able to update Electron both in development as well as in production. Well, in the packaged version of the app in a single place. And then npm install for the foobar app has been run at least once. Okay, when one runs the following command for the first time in the foobar directory, Electron Packager will do the following. I guess this dot is the current, is the source directory. Use the current directory for the source dir, infer the app name from the product name, infer the app version from the version, infer the platform. Yeah, infer the platform and architecture from the computer you're using. Download the .app for Electron and put it on that folder. Let's see if when I ran Forge, it used Electron Packager. So do I have a .electron folder now on my home? Nope. When I used Forge, it did that in some other place. Build the macOS app, place the macOS app into a folder. Since an out folder was not specified, it used the current working directory. The file structure now looks like this, similar to what we did in both Forge and Builder. And then it puts the Electron license in there as well. The foobar folder generated can be executed by a system running macOS, which will start the packaged Electron app. This is also true of the Windows 64 build on a system running a new enough version of Windows for the 64-bit system. Related, Forge creates, builds, and distributes modern Electron applications. Packager Interactive, a CLI for Electron Packager. Grunt, that's a build system. Distributable creators, installer zip, Windows, WinStaller, blah blah blah. Install. So these are all lower level tools. They are building blocks for things that Forge and Builder are bringing together into a single umbrella. And these are mostly developed by this Electron Userland organization. I remember this name. but I don't know where from. Okay. Plugins. Languages. Plugging non-proprietary codecs FFmpeg replaces the normal version of FFmpeg in Electron with a version without proprietary codecs. Electron comes with FFmpeg. That's odd. And rebuild. That we know already what it does. It rebuilds native modules using Electron. That is used by Forge. Okay, so at this point, I am tempted to use Electron Builder. Electron Builder seems less intrusive. For example, it doesn't take over npm run start, or just npm start. And overall, I really like the way that Electron Builder, so fewer dev dependencies. For example, it doesn't install a bunch of development dependencies like Forge. And then of course it requires some configuration, but that's just what it is, right? So yeah, let's see what we have. Yeah, that's very minimal. I really like this. And it promises a lot. Promises very easy auto updates with that cool block, that what was it called? Block map. So I'm tempted to go with Electron Builder. So this is what we are gonna do. We're gonna wrap it up for now, and I'm going to, now that we already did this cursory exploration of the space, I am going to stop streaming for now, and I'll come back tomorrow at 5:30 UTC to continue doing this. But meanwhile, I'll try, if I have the time, to read the docs for both Electron Builder and Electron Forge, now that we have some minimal experience with both of them. I will read over their readmes, or their websites actually, Electron Forge IO and Electron Build, and then I will learn more about them. And tomorrow we are going to set up this infrastructure for actually distributing the app. We'll see if we can use GitHub Actions for that, and then maybe later we will, if we have the time, which I don't think we will, then we get back to the backlog, because the app may be packaged and everything, but it's by no means ready for distribution for real users. So we still have some stuff to do there. But it would be nice to get this out of the way, to the packaging, because I was afraid that this was going to be hard. In any case, thank you all for being here, for supporting me on PayPal and Patreon, and for subscribing to the channel and everything. And I see you again tomorrow at 5:30 UTC, and we'll continue to work on packaging this app. See you then. Bye.